G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another bloody good episode. Now if you're ready to go off like a frog in a sock, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. I'm leaving my husband tomorrow. Our marriage, me 29 female and Jack 30 male, was short. Only less than a year, but rocky from the start. I didn't even know what possessed me to say yes. Maybe loneliness, maybe desperation, I don't know. He and his family are openly hostile to my only brother, 18, as I had to take care of him after our parents died. They saw him as unnecessary, and only after marriage, I saw how horribly Jack treated him. For your information, my brother lives in our apartment, since he wasn't old enough to have his own place. Jack, I'm almost ashamed to say, is not a very good man. He's lazy and never does any house chores. Brother does everything that Jack should have done. He plays on his computer all day, and goes out to drink with his buddies almost daily. He never hits me or my brother, but he does treat us like his caretakers, and I'm honestly getting sick of it. My last straw was when Jack insisted I give him the inheritance money my brother was set to get for college. I refused. Money has always been a sore spot to him, as admittedly, I earn 4 times that he does, and I even keep our finances separate, thanks to my lawyer uncle's advice. I fired back, saying how he should stop doing freelance work that pays him dirt and not snooping around me and my brother's business. We fought, and in the middle of that fight, he left, leaving his phone behind. I don't know what caused me to poke around his phone, and guess what? Not only is he a lazy piece of work who doesn't even have a stable job to pursue a passion that I don't even understand, he's also a cheating idiot. I was heartbroken. I cried myself to sleep. Then I called my lawyer uncle to serve him the divorce paperwork. Jack doesn't know that I know about his side piece. He still treats my brother like a nuisance and demands me to hand over our inheritance to him. I keep my silent, as does my brother. He's going to a weekend outing with his buddies tomorrow, and I will pack up my things and leave, with the divorce papers on the table. I cut the lease to our apartment. He'd only have next week to figure out where he'd go. I got a place across town, closer to my relatives. I take care of the rest as I go, and I deeply regret marrying this man. He's wasted 2 years of my life, and I'm so angry to myself that I was too blind to see how I should never have married him. Tomorrow, I am leaving him, and I don't care if I seem like I would not fight for my marriage. I don't have the energy to deal with a grown-ass man who still thinks like a frat boy. And now in the comments, best of luck to you and your brother. Now get on with a fabulous life. And OP replies, I'm planning to get those 2 cats that Jack refused to have, and I will get on being a fabulous wine cat mom, since we don't have a kid yet. Just knowing that I'd be away from him brings me a huge relief. Enjoy your new freedom and your cats. This is the best thing that could have happened. The marriage could have dragged on so much longer. This is a good thing. Sorry you're in that situation, but congrats on making what sounds like the right decision. Some people treat their spouse as their caretaker rather than their equal, and it's unfortunate that you found someone like that. Wishing you and your brother the best in your future endeavors. And OP replies, and now that I saw it, he was indeed a crafty, manipulative person. I can't believe 2 years of my best life gone to him. Hey, 2 isn't so much in a whole lifetime. You've got many more beautiful years to come. Be proud of yourself. You're making the right choice for you. And now, on to the update. It's been a busy weekend. I barely even had time to open my phone. Over the weekend, I moved out with the help of my 2 best friends, my cousin and my uncle. They were very helpful, and in a day, we finished packing up everything and left the apartment. I am now living closer to my uncle, my mum's little brother, and his family, while my brother is waiting to move into his dorms. My uncle helped me install cameras outside of our new place. Thank you everyone for the advice. I changed my passwords, my PIN numbers, and my phone number while we're at it. I took a week off of work, and thankfully, my boss understood and let me. I wish I could see his face when he came back to the apartment and found the place empty. Some of my friends were cold, but they told Jack that they didn't know where I went, as I haven't told anyone but my uncle and my best friends. Jack came to my uncle's place, but my uncle kicked him out of his property, and while Jack threatened to go all out and contest the divorce, my uncle gave him an ultimatum in return. Sign it without a fuss, or I will try to get alimony from him. Hopefully, Jack won't make a hassle out of the divorce proceedings. As for myself, though, I'm just happy to be away from him, even with no alimony or divorce settlement. From this point onwards, I will have no contact with him or people associated with him. It seems cowardly, but I would rather avoid the drama. I believe that we'll have some kind of drama later, but honestly, as long as he signs that divorce paper, I'm fine with that. I finally talked to my brother, and I apologized for getting him into such an environment. He was understandably disappointed with me, but he forgave me. He said that he was glad that I decided to leave. We had a good crying session over that. Right now, I'm trying to make it up to him. He's a good kid, a smart and tough cookie, and he deserves better. Should he need to, we'll go to therapy together. He convinced me he was okay, and he was mostly angry on my behalf, but I'll keep an eye on that. I haven't adopted the cats yet, because my place is still messy and we're not done unpacking, so unfortunately, no cat tax for now. Thank you everyone for cheering me on, giving me lots of virtual hugs, and checking up on me. I didn't expect for this much support, and your kindness makes everything feel bearable. A lot of you have given me sound advice about health tests, security, and everything else, which I am very, very grateful of. Some of them I did not even consider. This sounds so cliche and simple, but thank you so much. I hope that you all have a great day. And edit, we are not from the USA, but our laws regarding marriage and divorce are pretty clean cut. I don't think he'd get any money from me. And now in the comments, congratulations starting the next chapter of your life. I know no matter how awful he was, this wasn't easy, and I'm so glad to hear that you have the support network that you need around you. Good luck, and I think there are a couple of lucky cats that want to have a wonderful home soon. And OP replies, thank you. It was very overwhelming when I read all the comments in my post. I wanted to rant a bit, and Reddit was the only place that I thought was safer. But it turned out a lot of people were very supportive, and even sent me messages out of concern. I don't even care if he found me here. I'm away from him now. I'll be visiting the shelter as soon as I get my apartment in order. I'm so happy and relieved for you. I can't wait till you get the cats and start your new life as a cat mom. And OP says, thank you. I was so overwhelmed yesterday, but now I'm more settled. I know that it won't be easy shaking him off, but personally, I think he won't make too much of a fuss. I can't wait to go to the shelter and get a cat or two, but first let me clean up my new place because we unpacked in a hurry. And now on to the final update with the cat tax. What a cutie. A small life update? I don't know, I feel like I owe some people updates, but here I am. On the process of my divorce, he made some fuss, but otherwise agreeable to the terms I set. At least he doesn't harass me or my family anymore. As for his family, some made some comments on social media, but my friends were quick to shut them down. I blocked them though. He got the car that I paid for. I'm kinda pissed, but that's okay, as long as I don't have to look at his face ever again. I felt kinda down and sorry for myself, and I blamed myself a little bit. I'm going to try to get better mentally because the guilt was pretty strong. My brother is doing good, more carefree now that he doesn't have to watch himself. I'm so proud of him, a little ashamed of myself, but overall, the both of us are doing way better, and we bond better now. And also, I found a cat. Well, he found me. I was throwing out garbage and he came up to me, followed me to the apartment, and made himself at home on top of my unpacked boxes. I think he's a stray, a year old at most, and I took the photo in a rush because I had to go to work today. I'm gonna take him to the vet, get him vaccinated and everything else, and also buy proper food because I only bought small packets of kibble and wet food earlier. Thank you everyone for showing your concern and support. I guess I won't be making more updates. Maybe to photo dump the pictures that I take of the cat, unless something happens. I hope that you all have a nice day. And now in the comments, I'm so glad OP escaped. Thankfully there was no future post where his side piece is pregnant and Jack then expects OP to raise the kid for him. Whoa whoa whoa, there's still time. I cannot imagine having the balls to demand money that doesn't belong to you in any way, shape or form. If it was her inheritance, maybe? But money that belongs to her brother? And the nerve to threaten to contest the divorce when you know you're a cheater. Like, is he genuinely too stupid to realize that may have been the trigger for OP filing the divorce, or does he not realize how badly that would wreck anything he's gonna try to mess with OP? It makes me more than a little sad in most of these posts. It becomes clear that you can do anything to people, any kind of abuse or mistreatment or negligence, as long as you don't cheat on them. Yeah, once you cheat, you've crossed the line, but anything else, fair game. Yeah, it pissed me off that OP's husband could treat her and her brother like dirt for months, but it was only when he was unfaithful that she left. Should have gotten rid of him long before. Our next post is titled, "I'm done with men, honestly." So I met this guy 7 months ago, and we hit it off pretty much immediately. For the last 3 to 4 months, we've been spending almost all of our free evenings together. The sex is great, and the cuddling in his arms with a good movie or series is even better, and he almost always falls asleep in my lap before the movie is finished, and that's one of my favorite moments, looking at his face and curling his hair around my finger. 2 Fridays ago, I made dinner, and he brought wine. He fell asleep to What We Do in the Shadows. We woke up later, and we had the most amazing sex I've ever had. When he was almost there, he said, "God, I love you." I just burst into tears. I know, silly, and I said I loved him too. When I later cuddled him for some afterplay, he said it again, and so did I. He left the day after, and I haven't heard from him since. So, WTF? I tried to call and text him several times the following 2 days. Nothing. I know people say all kinds of things when they're climaxing, but what the hell? Not the tiniest explanation. Just like falling asleep and never seeing the end of any movie, he just left this without seeing the end. And now in the comments, make sure he's alive. This happened to my daughter last month. Dating a guy, everything going great, she talked to him Saturday morning, and he was going to come pick her up for a weekend together. Then he ghosted her, never showed up, didn't call, didn't respond to messages. She got to work on Tuesday, planning to rip him a new one as they worked the same shift. Halfway through the shift, he hadn't arrived. Another friend of his called into the store and let them know that he'd died in a car crash on his way to get her Saturday morning. I came here to say this. A friend and I were texting one day, and he never responded to my last text. He's gone dark before, so I thought maybe he was in a mood. I learned later on that he died the day after my last text. It's unfortunate, but crap like this happens. As someone who is currently dating, this hits home. I don't know if it's just these challenging times, as everyone likes to say, but no one wants to have a real conversation about feelings. No one wants commitment, everyone wants the immediate satisfaction of sex. I've been trying for a year, and it doesn't matter how clear you are about what you want, people will say anything to get what they need in that moment. I've had someone tell me they love me, and then take it back the next day. Also, after weeks of talking every day and going on dates where you say please no sex until commitment, they say, "Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere." So you agree, okay, we can sleep together. The next day, they back out. Once you ask for anything more or ask why they lied, they say, "You're amazing, but I'm not ready." I ask for advice all the time. I make sure I look nice on dates, I'm told I'm attractive, I eat a healthy diet, keep a nice clean home, have a nice car, always offer to split or pay, try to listen actively and ask questions. I have a decent job, have hobbies and a life, etc. I have made room for someone in my life. But no one is interested in relationships at all. It's so disappointing people will say anything to get what they want in the moment at the expense of other human beings. I feel you. And now onto the update. So the guy who ghosted me has texted me now. Yeah, so he texted me this. So is this over? What the hell? He didn't text me out of the blue. Also, let's call him Dennis because of the Always Sunny reference that people mentioned in the comments. Today, I met one of his friends who works at the movies. Let me put it this way. I planned to go to the movies to run into his friend who I knew was working this evening. I just wanted to see if he knew something. Anything, even after the amount of DMs that I got from people who went through similar breakups, that made me realize things just happen, and I shouldn't wait for an explanation or proper closure. I was there with my sister and her boyfriend. When I met his friend and we exchanged pleasantries, the friend asked me who I was with and if Dennis is working and couldn't come. I told him that I didn't know what Dennis did because we've broken up. He was very surprised and said, "Oh really? When did this happen?" and how bad he felt because we seemed happy. This is one of his best friends, and I know that Dennis is in daily contact with him. His surprised expression told me that he didn't know more than I did, so I dropped it. An hour ago, I received the text, and now I need help to know what to do. Obviously, the friend has contacted Dennis to ask him what's up, because why would Dennis just text me this random night after almost 2 weeks of ignoring me? Should I answer? Should I ghost? Should I Dennis him? I mean, my guts say ghost him and spare yourself the heartache, but I'm so freaking curious. Help. And by the way, to the incels who congregated in my DMs yesterday like it was some incel con because of yesterday's title, it's just me being dramatic. You do understand that, don't you? I mean, it's words from a jilted lover. Stop the threats and get help. We wouldn't be 8 billion now if we were to believe that every woman who said she's done meant it. Just chill. And now in the comments, I'm with a lot of the downvoted people here. Don't make it into a huge deal of, what do I say? What should I do? Just calm down and ask why he ghosted you. If you want to know, then you want to know. If his answer doesn't sound legit, then just move on. If you don't want to move on, then that's okay too. Playing a bunch of games of ghosting him for some kind of revenge is a little bit childish. Maybe I'm old. I have seen this drama in my own life before, and from experience, it just isn't worth it to go crazy with revenge plots and scheming. Edit, I am really glad to see others coming along with some really great advice for you, and I hope you take it. It's your life though, and you can do whatever you want, but again, it seems a lot of people here have had similar experiences and want to save you the drama. I also just want to add something completely random. Watch the movie The Women, the 1939 version, not the Meg Ryan version. Definitely not the Meg Ryan version. I know I said I was old, not 1939 old, but the movie came from a recommendation from a therapist. Long story short, it's about a group of women and how each one would handle the situation of one woman whose husband cheated on her. The friend who wants her to seek revenge, the woman who he is having the affair with that wants a life of luxury, the mother of the jilted woman, and then of course the lead herself. You watch her balance what others expect her to do, including society, and ignore what would actually make her happy. You also get the pleasure of watching Norma Shearer and Joan Crawford. Let this movie be the drama for you. Do what would make you happy, but also be aware that playing games might push you away from getting what you actually want from the situation. I really think you should just be straight with him. I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. I assumed you had lost interest. Do you not think that's reasonable to assume? I 100% agree, and while highly improbable, I know due to losing a phone or being stuck somewhere for some amount of time in my life, I've been physically incapable of responding to calls and texts for an extended period of time. I would never recommend going baseline aggression or trying to guilt trip without at least an explanation for what caused his absence. You never know. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought about it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.